around 2 hours ago.
I just put mine on. It was 78. At least they fixed mine Friday. I wasn't here, but they came in the apartment and fixed it. So
Hmm. All right. Well, the red light is on.
let's get it.
So that means we are live. All right. So that being said, let's get it. I made it. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Tangy Tea of Life. I am your host, Veronica, back with you on this Tuesday. Why, thank you, Victor. Tangy Tea of Life. This is where we talk about any and everything. So glad to be back with you guys on this Tuesday. My boy Victor, damn it, boy White is back with us. Oh,
Oh, kind. Yeah, collision of bells, boy. I tell you, boy, the bells collide when I don't have my bell.
Brother Fatigued is back with us. WBLS radio station, New York.
What's up? What's up? What's up? I don't get no bell, but that's cool. Don't worry about it. When I get back here with my bombs and everything. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I was gonna take a drink, but my tummy said something otherwise, so I just drank water tonight.
Best choice. So glad to be back with everyone. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We already have folks coming on. Thank y'all so much. This is where it goes down every Tuesday night, 8 p.m., where we talk about any and everything. So, hello to all of you out there who's watching. We appreciate you. So, how was you guys' Memorial Day weekend? Long weekend. Everybody good?
Vic? All right. So besides the dreary weather in the South, Friday night, my cousin Julie had her birthday. So many made birthdays for my family. So we went out to eat and then gathered at my other cousin, her sister's house. And then Saturday, uh, had a little company and played a little cards. And then, no, not Saturday, Sunday night. And then Monday, we had a birthday barbecue for my cousin, which is, you call her Miss Pat, my cousin Pat's oldest daughter Angel birthday. So we had a birthday barbecue, which honestly took all my afternoon. So I couldn't get out and about yesterday, but that's pretty much what my weekend was, and a little work Sunday morning. Other than that, thank God that it, was safe, healthy, and a pretty fun weekend.
All right.
Um, I ain't too big on, whatever, but I want to say that I probably had one of the most gut-wrenching experiences probably this weekend that I've ever had in my life. And I must say I was somewhere, and I was probably the lowest I've ever been in my life.
Mm.
And as I was I'm an hour and some change away from my house. And I'm like low, whatever. And I get a phone call. And I look at my phone, and it's Jason Tony on the phone.
Hmm.
And I answer the phone. I'm like, "What's up, man?" He was like, "Bro, I'm looking at you right now." I'm like, "What?" He was like, "Bro, I'm looking at you right now." So we chopped it up,
Mm-hmm.
and he made me feel better about everything that was going on. But I must say, anybody who, I'm going to just say, God put Jason, it was just a by chance. He saw me. Like, I'll tell y'all the story and all the details, later on. But there is nothing but fate. How we, what I'm saying? I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. But there is no way but God put Tasha and Jason at that moment when that happened. And I was just like, ooh. So, for all the non-believers, y'all need to be believers. And Jason, I appreciate everything you did. Tell your wife I appreciate everything that she did. So
I just want to say to Victor, we text, when I say we, not me and you, but Veronica had put out a text about, possibly getting together. And I noticed your texts were, you answered the text, but you was pretty short on them. And my vibe was that you was dealing with something. It could have been something good, something bad. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and lie. But the one thing I have to say to you, my brother, that since I've gotten to know you, and I got to know you better from this screen, but just hanging out with you, I have a lot of respect. I don't care what people see. We go at each other. We don't even really argue, but we have different opinions. But I respect you, so I'm not going to pry. I'm not going to pry. I'm not that kind of brother with you because I don't know you that well. Maybe if we had some years behind us, then I'll push a little bit more, but I don't. But I respect you and whatever you was dealing with. And however, and if you do mention, if you don't, like you just said, man, we here and supportive for you because you was there when my wife passed. And you've always been supportive. So no matter what the situation is, we got your back. However you choose to have us in your life, we're here for you, my brother.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. And I ain't got a chance to tell Jason, but everything turned out better than expected. So I mean, everything's good though. But I was just last 4-5 days has just been really rough.
Got it.
But on to bigger and better things.
Going back to what you say, God always shows up on time, and He knows the right time. He knows the right people to place at that particular time. So yes, God is good. I can attest to that. We did have Victor and I, we went to Mr. Sammy's house. I don't know if Mr. Sammy is on here, but we did have a chance to go out there yesterday to his family and friends Memorial Day cookout. And that was, we had a really good time there, chopping it up with Mr. Sammy and all the ones that was out there who watched the tea. We appreciate each and every one of you. The young lady that says she's always watching, but she's never commenting. So she's probably watching. We appreciate her as well. Hey, Neek. Hey, Tim. Hey, Wendy. Jason, all of you out there. Thank y'all so much. We appreciate y'all for tuning in every Tuesday. But yeah, we had a great time at Mr. Sammy house. So we appreciate Mr. Sammy for always thinking of us and inviting us to his events that he had.
And I just want to say again, I didn't make it. But, Mr. Sammy, like you just said, he's always out there. I got chance. I think we went on the 4th of July in the past. All of us got together and went out there, and I just want to say he reached out to me about this and I saw the pictures and he wears this very strong and he represents very well. So he might be a Washington Redskin fan and I'm a Dallas Redskin, Washington. Where's the daggone name of the teams? I was about to call them the Guardians.
No
Washington,
name. No name.
No, they got a name.
I know.
It's the Commanders, but they're going to always be the Redskins.
Yeah. Out of respect to Washington Commanders, I'm a Dallas fan, but still salute to Mr. Sammy because he's an upright, strong brother. Even though we Masonic brothers, that doesn't take away that he's a good, strong leader in the community, and he represents us as a people very, very well.
Yes. Hey, Miss Rosa. Hey, Marlene. I don't know if I ever saw that name up here, but hey, Marlene, welcome. Tangy Tea of Life. And we do have an email letter tonight, guys. Can y'all still see me?
Yeah, we just heard you flush the toilet.
that was not. That's the computer doing something funky. I
Yeah,
don't know.
okay. Mm-hmm.
All right. So
Look like a
that
bathroom
being
background
said,
to me.
huh?
Look like a bathroom background to me, but go ahead.
I'm glad everyone had a great weekend. And yeah. Sometimes I just get emotional and
Here come the cotton ball. Tito, get the tissue. Hey, Victor, I ripped half of this tissue for you and hand it to you.
hey Natasha. All right, so here we go. Um so it says, Dear Tangy T, my boyfriend never listens to me. I've said these things over and over again and he still doesn't get it. I told him countless times things that bothers me and hurts my feelings, but he continued to do those things. I know y'all are going to say just leave, but I tried and it's not that simple. I've asked him to put himself in my shoes several times and to see if he still feel the same way. He can go out and stay out to 2 and 3 in the morning. I went out with my friends and he had a problem when I got back around midnight. I can go out of town and not tell he can go out of town and not tell me until he's in another state. But if I did that, he would have a fit and not talk for weeks. When he get in his feelings, I reassure him that he's there, that there's no one else and he's the only one. When I think something is going on, he just ignore the fact that I want to have a conversation about it and expect me to just deal with it. Everything is okay for him to do, but not me. We've been together 6 years and it's the same story over and over again. Sometimes you just want to hear someone else say it, but I can't leave on my own. It's really hard. He never gives me a chance to voice my opinion. It's always that I'm arguing and trying to be difficult. Thanks, and I will be watching and ready to take in all the criticism. Um, okay. Well, I'm not gonna criticize. I'm not gonna do that because I am a woman and I know that we are emotional creatures at times and we can let the simplest things get to us sometimes. Um, Shouts out to all the strong women because I know a lot of you probably going to come in the comments and kind of beat up on this woman, but shout out to all the strong women out there who can just leave without any hesitation when something go on inside their relationships. I understand where this young girl is coming from. I understand being in several relationships before and going through things and sometimes not being understood. I get where she's coming from and not saying that we can't leave. Of course, that's a choice to leave when we're in a situation like that. But I get where she's saying. And I don't want to get too deep in it. I'm going to stop right there and then I'll get back into it. Go ahead, Victor.
So now, unless you serving a prison sentence, you can leave when you want to. Yes, uh, 6 years is a significant amount of time you was with somebody, but life will continue if you don't um, continue to stay with this guy. Your quality of life may change, but you got to look out for yourself first. Um, Obviously, you're unhappy, and obviously, your happiness is not in his a top priority to him. So with that being said, who's gonna look out for you if he's not and you not? So I feel like when it comes down to do you want to be happy or do you want to be in a relationship? Which one is more important? If you feel like this guy is never going to change, then there's no point of being in there. 15.
All right, so and sister, if you're watching, don't take my tone as negative, but you already said the first thing you said. you expect the criticism, this, that, and the other. And the reason why you say that, because you've looked yourself in the mirror and you see some of the things that you have done that you're not happy with and you're not comfortable with. You understand? And yes, we have to be sympathetic. Some of us can be empathetic, as Veronica, as a woman, saying sometimes it is hard to leave. All right. That said over there. Now, don't think that advice and or constructive criticism is beating you up. And see, that's what the problem we have as a people is, when people give you constructive criticism, no matter if it's harsh. Sometimes people say we're beating them up. Ain't got time to be beating nobody up. 6 years, sister. 6 years. This is not a healthy relationship for you. You see all these red flags. He can do, you can't do. When you do, he doesn't care about your feelings. You understand what I'm saying? It's a controlling relationship. Okay? You have to put your big woman panties on and figure and put a strategy together to leave. It's not easy. You're right. Life isn't that easy. But you have to look at this. Now, if it's not getting better and hasn't gotten better in 6 years, what do you think is going to get better? What do you think by writing us that we can tell you that's going to make this better without talking to this brother? At the end of the day, we're talking to you today. So you, again, some of the issues that you need to do, but it's hard. It's hard choices. You have to make an exit plan, or you're going to suffer the consequences. And that's all I can tell you. I don't want to sound like a hamster on that wheel, because there's not much else I can tell you, my sister.
6 years, like y'all say, is a fairly long time to be with someone. And I feel like, and I said this before, and I'm speaking from a woman's perspective. I know, you guys go through it as well, but from a woman looking in, we tend to get comfortable a lot of times in the relationships that we're in. We're comfortable with that person, the things that we do, the things that we say to each other, the quality time that we spend. We're comfortable. And it gets hard trying to get from out of that comfort zone where we're at. Starting over is really tough for some people. Me personally, it was tough for me to, and I mean, it's still tough trying to date someone in 2023, trying to get to know someone new, trying to, figure out their likes, their dislikes. And it's just hard. And so if you're comfortable somewhere, and I know y'all probably not going to agree, but if you're comfortable in a relationship, sometimes we just tend to stay there because we are comfortable and we don't want to go, I don't want to say looking, searching or whatever, but trying to get with someone new because we're so comfortable where we're at, if that makes sense.
How old is she?
She didn't put that in here.
So that, to me, that plays a big part in it. With that being said, Dog says she's not going anywhere. He obviously makes her happy when she's around. When he's around, she's not about to start over. So in my opinion, and this is going to sound real fucked up when I say it. In my opinion, either he's younger than her, he's out of her league to start with. Well, that would be, or her self-esteem is really that low. And that's kind of a play on all three. But in my opinion, either there's a big age gap and he's the younger one, or she feels like he was out of her league anyway. So, I mean, that, to me, for a woman to feel stuck, man, like Tasha said, put them big girl panties on and do what you need to do.
Well, speaking for Veronica, it was neither one that you said. It was, I was comfortable. I was in love. I didn't want to start over. So I stayed where I was at because I was comfortable. right there. And like I said, I was in love and I didn't want to start over. So I tried everything in my power to make it work. So it's not about low self-esteem, which I didn't have and I don't have today. It's not about the age difference. It wasn't about what was the other third thing you said, Victor?
It was just those two.
It was none of that. Now I don't know about her in her case, but I'm saying for me, like sometimes we just get in that space where we just don't want to leave. And I think Neek said somewhere in here where Neek said leave on her own time or something.
You said what?
There it is. Leave when you're ready. You will get tired of it. No one can tell you nothing. No one can tell you nothing. When, I guess you're saying to leave, you have to be tired of it all. And I say it all the time. R. Kelly's song was the best when he said, when a woman's fed up. And that is the truth. We know when it's time to move on. We know when it's time to leave. Our friends, our families, they can say it 10, 20 times. You need to get out of that situation. But until that person is ready to move on, no one can say anything. So same thing with this young lady. She's comfortable where she's at.
If she looking for sympathy, you can find sympathy in between shit and syphilis. It's somewhere in between there. So, ma'am, if you looking for some sympathy, you already know where to find it.
Yeah. Let me just follow up on that. So I listened to both of what you said, and and I'm not being insensitive because I'm not being insensitive, but let's be real here. Comfort is a state of mind at the end of the day. Oh, it's hard. We make shit hard. I hate to even say I make stuff. We make shit hard. I don't like even curse, but I have to because sometimes we make shit hard. That means you got to plan sometime. Sometimes, like you say, you fall in that comfort. I got it. I understand that. But what is more detrimental to your mental and your physical health at the end of the day? I'm not saying he's beating her or nothing. So let's just deal with the mental strife at the end of the day. You're not happy, sis, and he's not changing. So I'm not sitting up here. We make excuses. I don't care how long all of us stayed in a relationship that we know we shouldn't have stayed in, and it was hard to move on. We still made excuses for that. We still made excuses until we decided to move on at the end of the day. So we fall into the same bag. So again, my voice is just there because I've been there and I understand it, but it's a waste of time. We're wasting our time by putting this off where we know, you know what? I'm just say this. When I got one of my answers was I realized, I said, would I want to be miserable in the relationship or would I want to be miserable by myself? And when I say by myself, being by myself, starting over, this, that, and other, I said, I'd rather be miserable by myself because I can control my destiny. I control my environment. What I do to bring in happiness, I control that. If I'm with somebody that I'm miserable, I'm in their world as they're in my world at the end of the day. So I have to deal with their crap just like they got to deal with my crap and vice versa. So at the end of the day, sis, make a plan. You can't leave today. You can't leave tomorrow. You can't leave in 6 months. But if it's not getting better, make an exit plan and hell with it. Starting all over sometime is better because you know what they say. One door closes for you, another door that may be better opens for you.
So Tasha says, what's more important, being unhappy or being comfortable?
Being unhappy or being comfortable? Well, at that moment, Tasha, being comfortable. Being comfortable. Not saying that. Wait, put her question back up there. What's more important, being unhappy or being comfortable?
Uncomfortable. Oh, being comfortable, excuse me.
Yeah, being comfortable, isn't it? Okay, being comfortable is still making me unhappy.
That's what we're saying, which is more important. So if you're
unhappy or being comfortable, that's the same thing because I'm being comfortable, but at the same time, I'm unhappy.
If you're unhappy, if your first choice is being unhappy, you're going to leave. If your first choice is being comfortable, you're going to stay. That's what she's saying. Which is more important? You're saying being comfortable, so your
Yeah.
happiness is less important than your comfort.
Yep, if that's what y'all want to call it at that particular time, if that's what y'all want to say, then yeah, my choice was being comfortable. I was comfortable where I was at,
I'm
but
gonna
at
be
the
happy.
same time,
Yeah.
I wasn't unhappy. I'm not saying every day, but at certain points, yes, unhappy. And you can't tell me that not one woman on this in these comments been in that position before, ever in
But
life.
but
If
you
y'all
gotta
have, tell me how y'all handle that.
At times when we are in these emotional, we in relationships where it's emotion, and we deal with things emotional at times. And when we deal with things emotional, sometimes our judgment gets clouded. But it comes a time in that relationship, you got to step outside of that emotion and
Yeah.
deal with judgment and make the best decision. That's
And
where
that-
logic comes down to it. So that's why we tend to stay a little longer, because we're emotionally attached. But when we see that the red flags are not getting better and it's getting worse or nothing is changing, then we step out of that emotion and start looking at things logical and say, this is not good for me. I got to look out for myself. Self-preservation is number one. If you don't look out for yourself, who is going to look out for you at the end of the day?
And Fatin, coming from a man, it seems like it's very easy. It's easier for a man to say that than a woman. Y'all
How
said
can you say that?
because
You've never been a man.
Yeah. Well,
You
I
can't
hope
say
not.
that.
Yes, I can, because I've heard y'all say it. Y'all be out. If somebody did something to you, y'all out like that. That's
we
why
didn't.
I'm making that statement. I'm not making that statement saying that I know this. I'm going by what. Okay, well, what you say, Victor, you're out like that. So that's why I'm saying, by Fatin saying that, we have to look at it as, when is it time to move on, or however you made that statement just now.
I made that statement from experience.
Yeah,
but I'm
Two relationships that let me just say this. I've said, like Victor said, we're out. I'm right with Victor on that. But when we say we out, that means we plan. That don't mean two relationships that I did stepped away from, got out of. It took time. It took emotion, it took crying, it took this, it took pleading. But it comes a time when that pleading goes out the window. That crying goes out the window. That emotional part, like, this ain't getting no better. I'm getting tired of talking to the walls. Like, I'm talking to you, but it's like I'm talking to the wall. So at the end of the day, it's not that easy for us to just walk away. It's just that enough is enough. And we just not going to continue to go through this emotional roller coaster bag. That's all I'm saying.
So, and I agree with you, Fatim. It's not like, the younger me probably would have said, let's work on things, let's do this. But the older me, hell no. Because if you go out and you stay out, how I'm going to react. You already know that. So if you're going out and you doing all this and doing all that, I feel like you're doing it purposefully. So Nick says some people are comfortable being unhappy. And
That's
in
what I
my
was saying.
opinion, that's fucking retarded. Like,
For you,
I don't get that. Why would someone be unhappy but be content with being unhappy? That shit makes zero sense to me.
Because some people want things to work, Victor. Some people want their relationships to work.
Then why complain about it, Veronica? Then why complain about it?
It's no complaints.
Why complain about it then?
You should.
Because maybe and sister, and we're not knocking no one from writing letters here on the show. Thank y'all so much for writing your letter.
No. This is in general. This is not her. This is to you as a woman.
But
you making it about her. We're not saying that. It's a general statement.
Yeah,
general statement.
How do we know that people do not talk about it? They do talk about it.
No, we're asking why complain about it. When people are not happy, they tend to talk to their sister, their mother, social media. They tend to complain about it
because
instead
that's
of saying
their outlet. That's their outlet of letting their
why
emotions.
you go to an outlet? I don't tell people how happy I am. When I got a complaint, I need a solution. Just ladies looking for a solution.
Yes. And
But
that's why
leaving is not in the solution. So what you want us to say,
yeah,
man?
so leaving is in my solution.
So now no one can speak about how they feel, right? No, y'all don't want nobody to say how they feel. You don't want them to go to no one and have a talk about what they're going through.
You missing the point.
No,
The point is, she says she's not going to leave. So what are we discussing? There's nothing to talk about.
Okay, so next topic. What's your topic then? If y'all don't want to talk about it,
Well, whatever you come up with.
no, because we're going to finish this topic. We have a lot of comments coming through, so let's get on that. Nick says she's in love and scared if she leaves, someone else is going to get the better version of him.
That's
true.
Y'all
do not know how women think.
But that's still not a good answer.
It doesn't matter.
I don't care how she thinks.
That's how some women think.
And what we're saying is not, and it's not a good answer.
Not a good answer.
I don't care because she thinks like that. That's fine. We understand.
That's what Nick wrote. We read what she wrote,
and we responded to her response. We're not criticizing Nick. We're saying,
but y'all criticizing this lady that wrote the letter.
No, what we're saying is what Nick wrote. She's in love and scared if she leaves, someone else is going to get the better version of him. What Nick writes, yes, Veronica, some women or some people do agree with that. Because some people think like that, don't mean that's a rational thought. That's all we're saying. It's not a rational thought. People may think that, you're right, but it's not a rational thought. But it's
either logic or emotions.
Exactly.
One of the two.
Exactly. That's
you want to think with emotion, you're gonna get hurt. You think with logic, you're gonna protect yourself.
Exactly.
So what you want to do? You want to take a chance, or you want to show a thing? If she leaves, guess what? He can't hurt her no more. But if she stays, she gonna continue to get hurt. So what do you want to? That's it. That's the most logical thing, ma'am. I don't know what to tell you. This guy's gonna do what he wants to do anyway. You don't matter. So if leaving's not the option, we even tell me to do suck some more bird. No, that's just not gonna happen.
Emily says, seems like he may have some insecurities and we don't know this side because ultimately he's still there in the relationship as well.
You know why he there? Because a man will never leave his dummy. I've said that numerous times. A man is not going to leave his dummy. You there, you going to cook, clean, and you going to give him sex when he want to, and he can step outside and sleep with whoever he want to, and you still going to be there.
And all you're going to do is bitch and moan.
And that's all you're going to do.
And that's how he looked. Until she makes it hard for him. She makes it hard for him to make him possibly realize what he has. And it's a chance you check, because that's a game you play. Because you could say, well, I'm just going to not step out, but I'm going to step away and take a break from him. And he may just say, I'm done. Because the way he's behaving, either he's taking you for granted or he really don't want you around. That's all to it. He's taking you for granted or he doesn't want you around.
Which is a play on both, in my opinion. Because if I take you for granted, I mean, it really don't matter if you here or not.
And sister, we're not beating you up. This is the only thing we can say is, what more can we tell you to do? Talk to him. You've done that. You understand what I'm saying? 6 years. He hasn't listened to you. You've done things that he's done, but not even. You come in at 12 and he's bitching and moaning. What can we give you? I don't know what tools we can give you to try to make this work at this particular time. I don't know what else to tell you at this now.
I need for her to focus in on the problem, because if everything, I'm only going to speak about everything, if everything she's saying is true, he messed up and he punishes you. Right. I had a curfew when I was in a relationship, and guess what? I abided by it because I knew if I didn't, there was consequences. And even no matter where I go, there's always going to be rules to what a person does and doesn't want you to do. And if you break these rules, and there's no consequences behind it, I'm gonna continue to be a habitual line stepper. Ma'am, he doesn't respect you.
And sometimes like I told you, sis, please understand, even though this sounds harsh, you took the time to write this letter tonight. You took the time to write this letter. And I swear to God, the first thing I would do is give you a hug, because I know this is tough, but it doesn't take away from giving you the best advice that we feel at the end of the day that's for you, for your own sanity and for your own happiness, my sister. I can't sugarcoat it. I'm talking to you like I would talk to my daughters. Matter of fact, I would even be a little bit more sterner with my daughters, telling you straight up, because see, I'll talk to him, but you're a grown woman now. So no father should be coming into a grown person's relationship at the end of the day. But I'm just saying, I'm talking to you like I would be talking to my daughters at the end of the day. And this is the same advice I would give them.
Bro, you gonna give her a hug?
I would give her a hug, because I do understand that it's hard. It's not easy to walk away. And she's hurting. She is hurting, and she's a human being, and she has feelings. So I do understand that. But please don't confuse our heart. Well, I'm talking about a hug from that kind of, what I mean. I give her a virtual hug. I give her a virtual hug.
So this is the thing when it comes to that. When a woman is going through something, in my opinion, and I've seen it, when a woman is going through something emotional, and a man, just for that brief moment, you turn into him, because you're showing her emotions from the male perspective that she is trying to get from him, and she's going to project him onto you, and you're going to be knee deep in some tail.
Okay, so that's not what I'm saying. What I said,
I get what you. I get what you're saying.
That's why I use my daughters in that context, because I would do the same thing. I said, I got it. Yeah, and I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. What
I'm saying is, when it comes down to a woman that is going through something emotional, physical contact can be dangerous.
Very dangerous.
That's what I'm saying.
Because it sends the wrong messages, and she's already emotional vulnerable. And when she's emotional vulnerable, it can open up doors that it normally doesn't open. Correct?
But y'all can speak on how a woman feel, but I can't speak about how a man feel, right?
All right. Okay. So I'm speaking on experiences.
And that's what I was doing.
Feelings. Huh? What?
That's what I was doing too, Victor. I was speaking on experience. But it's okay.
I know.
Yoshi says the problem is people make emotional decisions. You shouldn't make any decisions based off emotion. True.
Hey, I love what he said. She ain't heard enough. Fatima, you see that? She ain't heard enough. She's still there. Ma'am, you ain't hit your low point. You ain't hit your low point yet.
Yeah, I mean, and Veronica hit the song when a woman is fed up.
Isn't that what I said? Yes.
I said Veronica said
she's not going anywhere until she's ready. Until she's had enough, that's when she's going to move on. Point blank, period.
Yeah.
Y'all do, Tasha. Y'all do. And that's coming from a woman. Women love struggle love. We see it all day long.
Yeah, and we've all been down that road. Women. Women.
Oh. Michael said he needs a hug. Directed it to me. You better buy a teddy bear, bro. You better buy a teddy bear.
So you tell me you never been somewhere where you know it wasn't right? When you know you needed to be out of that situation, but because you love that person and you was comfortable, you never been in that situation? Keep living.
Tim says she's anticipating the pain. She don't want to feel. She don't want to feel, and that's what makes it hard for her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and let me just. It's hard. I speak from experience. If you have a vice, I'm not going into it, but if you got a vice,
nothing is easy about
love. Yeah, you're nothing. But I had a vice, and that vice was something that once I stepped away from it, I had to go through that pain. But I was willing to go through that pain to continue with that, because the other pain that I was bringing on myself was going to be greater than the pain that I was going to feel. So it comes a time. See, some of y'all just don't want to hear it. And that's why, and I don't know why I got Kevin Samuel's name in my head. and I'm not talking about disrespect, but some of y'all put some of this advice, not some of the people putting out here. Sometimes we give people advice that is stupid. I hate to tell you that. It's stupid because it's not logical and we're playing with emotions that just don't make sense. Watch Star Trek sometime and see what between emotion and logic at the end of the day, what makes sense sometimes.
So I want to back up for team. Jacqueline says everyone has. Jacqueline, I can't say that I have. I've never struggled to be with anybody. I might have been in some situations that didn't work. But from the outside or for the inside looking out, no. I ain't never been in no struggle love that I'm aware of. I can honestly speak on that because once I feel like I'm not wanted, I'm out. I check out. And I love what Sammy says, Mr. Sammy. Love should not be hard.
Right. Challenges. It shouldn't be. That don't mean that you don't have
no effort.
Yeah.
But it is.
Yeah. It's not to the point that you don't have challenges. You have challenges, you may have tough times, but when it gets hard to the point of lack of respect to one another and it becomes a toxic, you heard the word capital T, toxic relationship, then what do you have? Nothing but toxicity.
So how is love hard? How?
Love
it's not
can
hard.
be hard.
I mean,
I'm not saying everybody that's in love is hard, but love can be hard.
Yeah, and a weenie can be soft, but I understand anything can be hard and
What do
anything can be easy.
You want me to answer the question, or are you gonna go behind everything that I say? It's my opinion. You're gonna let you ask me a question, so I'm trying to answer the question that you asked me.
But see, what I'm saying is, so with that logic you just said, you just went behind what I said. Yes, anything can be something else. It can always be like that. But what he's saying is love shouldn't be hard. And that's a true statement. That's a fact. But we all know that it's not always like that. But what he's saying is how can you dispute that? It shouldn't be hard. How can you dispute that?
I just said that it shouldn't be hard, but sometimes it is. If you would have let me finish, if you would have heard what I was trying to say, I said that it shouldn't be, just like he said, no, it shouldn't. But at times it is.
So
let me ask you what, Victor.
Hold up. So I said that you went behind me. Then I circle back around to do that. Come on, man. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do what?
Don't do that.
Don't do that. What? What are you talking about? I answered the question. I've been trying to answer the question that you asked. So what do you mean don't do that? What do you want me to say, Victor?
Well, what I want you to say, Veronica, give me an example since you circled back on this. What do you mean love is hard? Give me some examples of love being hard.
Just like this lady in the letter. That's hard. It's hard for her because she don't want to leave. She's in love. She don't want to leave this man. She's comfortable where she's at. That's hard love. It shouldn't be that way. She shouldn't feel that way inside of that relationship that she's been in for 6 years. Love shouldn't be hard, but it is at times. Let's be real about it.
Could I ask you a question?
Sure.
And your answer is fine there. Do we sometimes make things harder than what they appear to be? Do we fall into that trap like somebody just said to me just now, and it made me ask this, and it was Tim Johnson said, Brother Fatin, emotion outweighs logic mostly when love is involved, bro. And I take that in consideration. But the question is, a lot of these things that we live is conditional. It's conditional to our upbringing, conditional to what we see. So at times, do we make things sometime harder than what they are? And then we cloud it with what we think is emotion or love? Do we make it harder than what it really is? Because I told you, sometime when you move on, what happens? You move on and you get into a better relationship. It gets better. You want to say time, yes, time does heal, but time heals only because you're not in that circumstance no more. So are we sometime making that ditch a bigger ditch for us to live in at times at the end of the day, that we are the problem. So that's what me and Victor are saying at the end of the day. Yes, we respect it as hard, but sometimes we make it more harder and we hide behind these false pretenses of love and emotion, and where we need to think more clear.
Hey, I'm going to tell you something.
In there? Oh.
Love is not hard. Being a fool is.
And that's coming from a man, once again.
What is it? So you think there ain't no men that's been fooled?
Because y'all can call it what y'all want. You can call it fool. You can do what you want. But if somebody is truly in love with someone, they're going to do anything possible to make that relationship or that marriage work. You can call it being a fool, a dummy, whatever you want to call it. But when somebody is truly for someone and they want it to work, they're going to be a fool for that person.
That don't mean that we don't. That don't mean I didn't call myself a fool. I'm calling myself a fool. With that statement, that statement is a true statement. No, that statement is true for men and women. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes y'all jump too quick. Like we because she wrote the letter. I was a fool too at one time, because I did the same thing. Who does that? Where's that hat, Veronica? It's not just women. It's not we are just attacking women.
Can I add something?
Mm-hmm.
Why every time I try to comment and make how I feel about the situation, y'all come at me so hard tonight? What's the problem?
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna respond.
Wait, can I finish?
Okay, but you asked the question.
Can I not make a comment when somebody make a comment? Can I not come back and make a comment without coming from a woman's perspective? Can y'all don't want to hear from me tonight? Y'all want to just
no? That's not the point.
So I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna let y'all.
You made the comment. I'm just going to be straight. You made the comment that's coming from a man. And when you made that statement, you basically said a man doesn't feel what a woman feels. And I'm saying that comment fits us too that have been doing that too. That's all I'm saying. I'm not criticizing yours.
I was saying that's coming from a man. But coming from me, you can call it a fool, dummy, whatever, just what I said. I'm saying that's coming from a man that he may not have never been a fool for someone like that.
Right. And I'm saying what his comment, and I'm not talking to you. I'm saying his comment not only fits what he's saying about possibly a woman, it also fits a man, because I was also that fool. That's what I was saying. Because I want to give myself an example. I don't want to beat up on this woman like she's the only one that may be.
That's what it seems.
Well, I just said I use myself as an example. I was a fool too. Are you not listening?
Love is not hard. Holding on to their situation is. That's a woman agreeing with what Sly said.
Okay.
Yeah, then that's what I'm saying. It fits both.
It fits both.
Not all women agree with what I'm saying, because you have some real strong women that never been through anything, that never struggle with loving someone and trying to make it work. Those are that's how I started out my statement tonight. Shouts out to all the women that can leave just like that.
And then Tim says she's not a fool for trying to work it out, but only a fool if her trying is degrading her as a woman. And I mean, then you got a man that's that's stepping up. I mean, it's not about men and women, even though for some reason it turned into that. It's not a battle of the sexes. Nobody's trying to battle you, but all we're saying is there was a point that was made by a man. Just because we're standing for her to boss up. We're not bashing her, but it's like, what you want us to do? You want us to be logical or think emotional? And we can do both, but right now we're giving her the logical answer. Now, if you want us to give her an emotional answer, she's still going to feel like crap.
Going back, did you both say that y'all never felt love from a woman before?
No, we didn't.
Y'all didn't say that on the Mayo show, that y'all never felt love.
Nope, not me.
I didn't say that either.
Nope.
I said I felt it twice, and I bought 2 rings.
Mm-hmm. And I know I've been loved.
Mr. Sammy says, "Oh, he's answering Tasha. I don't know what she said, but being
so what if we did say that?"
I'm trying to figure out, because y'all act like y'all never, ever been deeply in love before and never put up with anything from a woman before?
I'm
Back
taking the
up.
camera off. I already said numerous times that I've done that. So I don't know how you saying I'm saying.
I don't get where you getting this from, because
And would y'all feel okay if so a woman never stuck it out with you two, like that she never put up with stuff that y'all dealt with?
what,
So y'all
what are
thought
you
she was-
making this into?
But wait a minute. But did y'all think she was a fool for doing that? Did y'all think she
First
was a
of
fool
all-
for trying to hold on?
First of all, are you
I'm
going to be unhappy when you with somebody for 6 years? Yes, there's going to be spur of the moment things. But when you are disrespecting me as a person and I have to try and be with you, I'm not going to be there. I've never tried to be with anybody. So I can honestly say yes, women, have I been with somebody and we've been unhappy? Yes. Yes, we have. But once we both realized that it was best to split, ain't nobody tried to stay. We split. So I don't know what she's going through. But have I ever been unhappy? Yes, I have. But it was short-lived. But once it started becoming a pattern, I was gone.
Yes, I mean, I get it. I mean, coming from a male, I guess I have to take that. You said it, so I have no choice. I can't say that you're lying, but
See, I want to read Natasha's comment real quick. It says, listen, it's not 1995, it's 2023. We're trying to give her strength. Them 90s R&B ain't no more. So that's what we're trying to say, is that we can sit here and sugarcoat stuff. And we said at the beginning that, don't look at as we're beating you up. We're trying to, and again, sis, you got to realize if you watch our show, you know how we can talk with you and then get into other stuff and debate that. At the end of the day, we're not beating you up, but we're trying to give you that strength for you to, again, look in the mirror and say that if this is not working and you're losing your self-respect, and if you're losing your self-respect and you can't make him respect you, then the only way that you can get respect is you have to step away from him.
So, Fatin, let's turn this around for a minute. Other than leaving, what can she do
To make it better?
to make it better?
Nothing. Because he's not changing. She's done complained. She's pointed it out. She's talked to him, and he hasn't done nothing. He doesn't seem to respect her wishes. There's nothing else she can do to change this situation for it to get better for her.
And these are women.
That's it. She can't do nothing. So
I didn't see the comments that you put up there.
So Natasha says, if you have to hurt my feelings to help me, I'm all for it. And then Neek says,
Wait.
she can't make it.
She can't make it better. If you have to hurt my feelings to help me, I'm all for it. What does that even mean?
We're giving you advice that's hurting your feelings. Leave, ma'am.
If you have to hurt my feelings to help me, I'm all for it. She says I'm all for it.
That's
For it,
criticism.
right.
She's saying
Yeah.
criticism.
right. So if we hurt Natasha's feelings to give her the truth, she's all for it because she wants the truth.
Yes.
That's what Natasha's saying.
But what's she gonna do with the truth though? Are you gonna
She said I'm all for it, so she's with it.
we say a lot, but are we gonna do it? Is what I'm saying. We can say what we're going to do until we blue in the face. But until we actually move and do what we're going to say, then that's that.
Okay. Put Neek,
To your question about can yes, Patricia, and that's what and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Stand on your feelings, what you believe. Like I said, we can say it, we can take advice, and hopefully I'm trying to give good advice to this woman that wrote the letter, but it's like y'all beating her up for trying to be with someone who she want to be with.
He don't want to be with her.
Veronica,
So
I'm sorry,
that's-
Veronica, and I don't mean I'm going to be cool. We're not why would you even use that? Because
Because
now again,
that's how it
why
seems.
we would not be, I said at the beginning, because we're giving her constructive criticism don't mean beating up. Beating up is calling her names, saying you're this, that, and the other. I'm not calling her names. Constructive criticism and harsh criticism is not beating a person up. What advice do you give her?
The advice that y'all won't let me get out because I can't get
You got the floor,
a
Veronica,
word
on your
in.
show. You got the floor.
So Tim says, "Oh,
I thought you were going to answer the question. You say we're not allowing you to do it, so go ahead. What advice do you give her?"
I give her the advice to go with her heart. If her heart is telling her to stay there and to try to make it work, until then you move on. But until your heart says otherwise, stay there.
So what kind of steps should she do to make
Because
things better?
she's not going to be happy, and I get it, that moving on and trying to get into another relationship, like, that's what steps should she take after what, Victor?
What should she do?
I said just stay there and see until her heart tell her to move on. Then she move on. Y'all can say I'm crazy. You can call me a fool. You can say whatever you want to say. But until this sister realizes that she's making a mistake and it's time to move on, then that's her choice. And that's for any woman out there that's going through something. We can say, girl, leave. You being a dummy. Why are you staying there? How much longer are you going to take? Why you keep taking that from him? Until y'all are in these people's shoes, and if you've never been through that situation, you've never been in love like that where you want something to work, then please stop.
First of all, I can love you enough to leave you. Understand that. I will love you so hard, I will leave you alone. Because that's the best situation before somebody get hurt. Because you obviously playing with me. I love you enough to gracefully step away and hope the best for you. But I'll be damned if you play with me in my face. That ain't about to happen.
Thank you, Nick.
Nick says I'm with Veronica. Tell her to stay.
So as long as he is not being physical, are you saying she should stay? Yeah, I mean, I'm saying go with your heart. Yes, if he putting his hands on her and all that stuff, I would not advise no one to stay in an abusive relationship. But what I'm saying, if this lady is so deep in love with this man and her heart is there, to stay until your heart tell you to leave.
So Veronica, y'all, Veronica may get mad, but I'm gonna have to. I'm not saving this to after the show. The reason why, that's Veronica's opinion, and that's her opinion. Her opinion is her opinion. I'm not saying she's wrong. I disagree with it though. And the reason why I disagree with it, and I'll explain why, because I understand what Veronica is saying is basically we can give her all the advice and she's still going to do what her heart says. This is where I disagree with you, Veronica. Not that you're wrong. It's just that I disagree with her going with her heart now. She's went with her heart for 6 years. Nothing has gotten better. Now it comes time for you to deal with your mind. Now you got to take away. Your heart is emotional. Your heart is feelings. When you deal with your mind, you look at it from a more logical point of view. You're not wrong because that's your opinion. I just disagree with it after 6 years, and she has not put one thing in there that has gotten better, that she's advised him to do that make her happy. That's why I said it comes down that if she leaves it to her heart, she's going to continue to be led astray. That's why I disagree. Not that you're wrong. I just disagree her at this stage believing in her heart. She got to think ahead.
And that may be the truth, Fatine. I mean, it may end up, hurting her. But go ahead, Victor. What you saying?
Tim says mental abuse is worse than physical, and I agree with that. And the Pigeon Toe Bandit, she says mental abuse is just as bad as physical. And I mean, there's thousands of. This guy is mentally abused. I shouldn't say he's mentally abusing her, but what he's doing is affecting her psyche. But yes, he is. He may not be putting his hands on her, but abuse is abuse. He is abusing her as a woman, or as his woman, or whatever their situation is. He is definitely abusing this woman.
Since it's right here in my face, Jason says, man, that woman probably happy as she just mad right now. She ain't going anywhere. Y'all better not hype her up to leave. She's not going anywhere. And I know this. She's not going anywhere because her feelings is still there. She's going to stay there until her heart tells her to leave. This is when that lady is going to leave. I'll put any money on that.
And you know what? And I just want to say this, Veronica. Look back at, I'm taking what Veronica says as 200% the gospel right now. I'm not being funny. Let me just say this. Veronica speaking possibly from not only her advice, but from your experience, right, Veronica?
That is true. Mm-hmm.
Now you look back now, you understood why you may have stayed as long as you have, correct? Right? You look back and you understood that when you got fed up, that's when you decided to walk.
Yeah.
Right. Now, if you look back and had to give yourself that advice now, what advice would you give yourself? You probably would give yourself advice, girl, you don't need to stay that long. Go ahead.
Honestly, maybe in who I am, and when I really love someone, I'm not going to just up and leave. I'm going to try my best to make things work with that person who I love. And that's the honest God truth.
That's not my question.
You can.
My question is,
I would do it again.
The same exact way?
I'm not saying it would be the same exact way. I mean, but to make it work.
Would you have tolerated as long as you did?
Will I tolerate it?
Would you now, giving yourself advice, would you look back at your old self and say, girl, you tolerated that too long. You needed to see that earlier and leave? Honestly.
I probably wouldn't have, if I had to go through it again, I probably wouldn't stay as long as I did, but I'm not going to leave without fighting for it.
And that's what I'm asking. If you had, and that's what we're trying to say at the end of the day. You're giving advice as a woman.
But I'm saying I'm going to stay. I will still stay and fight for it. And I'm not saying that I will stay 6 years and fight for it.
That's all I'm
asking. But I'm going to stay and fight for who I want.
So that's what we're trying to say to her, is that we're looking from the outside in. 6 years now. And it's 6 years. It's been a long time. And if we had to look back in our lives to see that our 6 years was like that, we would have probably told our own self, get out of that a little quicker. That's what you just said. So it's not that we're not telling her to fight. She's already fought for 6 years. You don't have to fight for 10 years to say, I threw in the white flag in 6 years. If things are not getting better, I'm just not going to allow myself to tell this woman to tolerate another day like that. She needs to come up with a plan that if he's not going to change, then she has to change her situation. And the only one that can change her situation is her.
So you'll fight for a situation knowing the outcome going to be the same.
Who said the outcome going to be the same?
I can tell you this, and I can only speak for myself. There's a few relationships I wish I was never in. All right. There's a few relationships that there was a positive outcome, but we still ain't together. But knowing going into it, I could probably say there's probably one relationship I was in, maybe two, that I wish I ain't gonna say I wish I'd have fought for. I wish the outcome was different, but I did everything that I could do. there was really nothing I could do different. If you in it and you quit, I feel like, when if y'all in it and that other person does something so detrimental to end it, what the hell are we fighting for? I'm not fighting because you fighting to leave.
Yeah. I can't put the comments, but Patricia Baker, and right after Patricia Baker, what she says, she has to get her mind right and plan accordingly. She has to get to that point to where her peace of mind and happiness comes first. That's what Veronica is basically saying. Tim says, Brother Fatin, we all see the signs early. The real question is, are we still going to ignore the signs and turn a blind eye next time?
Yes.
That's a good point. And that's why when you go through certain things in life, we supposedly to learn from them. And if you see those similar type red flags, don't mean you're going to throw the towel in right away, but you are not going to be as foolish as in the past and go through hell to realize this ain't working.
Gloria, I envision I'm glad you said this and not a man. As long as she's not fighting alone.
I can see the names of women.
Huh?
Go ahead.
I didn't hear you.
I can see that it's the women that's making these comments. You don't have to say it's coming from
No, I said that because what I'm saying is I'm glad it came from a woman, because maybe I don't know her like that, but she's speaking from a woman's perspective. It takes two to fight.
And what is the comment? As long as she's not fighting.
As long as she's not fighting alone, it takes two to fight to make it work. Mm-hmm. Listen.
Great advice.
But guess what? Sometimes we fight alone. But
yes, there go that thing again.
But yes,
you got on us about 20 minutes ago about coming behind us.
I'm talking about her comment. Yes, it takes two to fight and make it work. But sometimes
you can't fight by yourself. What are you?
That's true, Victor. You can't fight by yourself. But what I'm saying is sometimes one person is fighting and trying to make it work, is all I'm saying. Yes, her statement is true. It takes two people to fight to make it work.
Because you can't fight by yourself. It's impossible.
Shanita says, I understand Veronica's point. It's just like when all your girlfriends tell you your man is cheating, you get mad at them, but still stay with him. But when you find out for yourself, it's a different story. Like she said, when a woman's fed up, then it's a wrap.
And Jacqueline Moore says,
sorry, Victor. Go ahead.
Go ahead. It's just too exhausting to put up with that much time and effort.
Right. I'm just going to say this again. This woman wrote us a letter tonight. She wanted some advice, and she said, she expected us to beat her up, and it's not about beating her up. It's about her trying to come up with solutions. And I'm not going to sugarcoat. And I told her, and I say this with love to you, sister. I'm not beating you up, but I am not going to be playing a fool with you at the end of the day. I'm not playing with your emotions now after 6 years, and this man has not changed. And like Victor says, you are in an abusive relationship at the end of the day. I'm not playing games with you. I'm not. There's the steps that you got to deal with to see. It's not to leave tomorrow, but you call for advice. And there's not really much we can tell you to do to help make this man change. Maybe you can get him to go to marriage counseling. I'll put that on the table. See if he'll go to marriage counseling. See if there could be a third party that is a neutral party that can help you. That's the best advice I can give you. Other than that, sister, you got to look out for yourself, because your life is as valuable as his life, as our life, my life, Victor and Veronica. You got to look out for yourself. And I'm not sugarcoating it. I don't care who gets upset, whatever. I'm not playing games here. I do understand what Veronica says, because it's not easy. And we said all these adjectives, but these adjectives are not making it better. Hard, emotions, love, but you're still going through the same thing.
Jason says, can you reread the letter, because I don't remember him cheating or hitting her. Maybe I missed something. No, you didn't, because she didn't say anything about him cheating or hitting her.
No, but abuse is not mental abuse. That's what we're talking about.
So, Fatin, can you answer this question from Patricia Richards, please? No
Patricia
matter
Wright,
what she's allowing, what about him being disrespectful?
no matter what she's allowing, what about him being disrespectful? He's totally an asshole, but she's taking it. He's being a total asshole, but she's taking it. How do you stop him from being a total asshole? You can't, but you can stop him being a total asshole to you by leaving.
Exactly.
That's it. Ain't nothing to sugarcoat here.
He ain't shit. If everything she's saying, we've said that this guy ain't worth a damn. If everything she's saying is true.
Correct.
We're not defending him.
Nope.
Ma'am, you said you don't want to leave, so I don't know what to say anything else. But I feel like you are disrespecting yourself by just allowing him to do you that way because you don't want to leave. That's what hurts me more than anything because I don't know what to tell you.
A lot of them asking, are they married? Do you see those, Victor?
I didn't think they were.
They're not. That this is her boyfriend of 6 years. That's, I mean, to answer, because I saw a few comments coming asking if she was married.
So that should be. I mean, I get it. I understand why she's not leaving because you don't have the protection, maybe financially, to leave. But like I said, and I maybe Fatim stated it earlier as well. Ma'am, you're gonna have to come up with a plan. You're gonna have to, because no one should ever feel like they unwanted in their home.
That's right.
No one should ever feel like what, Victor?
Unwanted.
No one should ever feel unwanted in their
home.
Sly says, this man is not hurting this woman. She's hurting herself by allowing this to continue.
Facts.
And that's not that's just it's got constructive criticism to you, sis. It's not beating her up.
So Tim says it don't matter if she's married, she is still hurt and in love. True. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. A piece of paper going in front of the court, it doesn't make a difference on how a person feels about you. But what
feelings is feelings.
Yeah.
Feelings are feelings.
Dope comment made by Jason. If she wrote the letter for our advice, she has to take it how it comes. If you agree with it or not, from everybody's point of view. So,
but
ma'am,
she said that in the letter. She said she's ready for the criticism. She said that.
Oh, yeah, that was at the end, right?
Yeah.
So, like he said, we're letting you know this is our advice. I don't have any. I don't know because you don't want to leave.
I gave her the best, and I told her at the beginning, I made the disclaimer, I'm not going to keep making it, that we trying to give you advice. It's tough love. It's tough advice. It's constructive criticism. We're not beating you up and calling you names, not you specifically. If we were talking in general, it's different. But when we talking to you, we are giving you the utmost respect because you took the time to write us the letter. So our job is to try to help you the best way we can and give you that without being offensive to you or disrespectful. But again, this is a tough kind of constructive criticism letter that we're giving to you. And I keep saying, I'm not going to sugarcoat it and I'm not going to walk it back.
But how do we know what this man is saying to her? How do we know that he's saying, and I'm looking at Marvin's comment. I mean, I know he may be trying to be funny, but he says, I know you want to leave me, but I refuse to let you go. If I have to beg and plead for your sympathy, I don't mind because you mean that much to me. I think that's coming from a song. I don't know. But I'm saying, how about this? How do we know what this man is really telling this woman that has her mind wondering, like, okay, he does love me, but at the same time, he's not listening to me and he's not caring about my feelings. but he feels the same way I feel. He loved me. How do we know what this man is telling her to make it extra hard for her to leave?
A
We
man,
don't know that.
a man will never leave his dummy. I need for everybody to understand what I'm saying. If all I got to do is make you feel like I care, I can still go off and do this, and I know you ain't going nowhere. All I have to do is make you feel. I don't feel that way. My actions don't even support what I'm telling you. But I need for you to understand that, yeah, he's saying this, but he's doing this. Well, which one he mean? What he's saying? Because actions speak way louder than words.
I'm going to answer, and I heard what you said, Victor. I'm going to answer your question, Veronica. We don't know what this man is telling her because she didn't put anything in the letter. She wrote the letter from her feelings and her perspective. So for us to start thinking, like you said, we don't know, and you just might be making that just as a general statement. So I'm not criticizing you, but we don't know what he's telling her. But I'm not going to be concerned with what he's telling her because she's really writing the letter for help for herself. So that's all I can go on at the end of the day.
It says we have to love ourselves more than we love others.
Correct. Yeah. Besides maybe our kids. And then when you
No. Y'all just said you love yourself before others.
I said
Not the
self-preservation.
kids, not the husband, not the boyfriend, not the wife, not the girl. You love yourself
Self-preservation.
I said that.
before.
I said self-preservation, but I just get ready to say, I'm gonna finish my statement. And sometimes you will put your children first. Sometimes you will put your spouse or your significant other first at the end of the day. But when it comes down to the bottom line, self-preservation is number one.
I'm just happy to know that I'm not going to say I'm the only one because there's quite a few people that agree with me in the comments, but I'm glad to see that so many women has never been down that road before where they've been in love and they've been, comfortable in a position and they just never been hurt, never try to hold on to a relationship before. I'm giving them bells because that got to be a great feeling to know that they never been down that road before.
Yeah, got it.
So shouts out to y'all.
Yeah. Michelle Grant wrote, hey, what's up, Sister Michelle? She writes, he does not have to tell her anything. His action speaks for himself. Thank you, Michelle, because that makes sense. I know,
Patricia.
Her actions do speak for herself at the end of the day.
And you know why Michelle is saying that? Because she said earlier that she been in that situation. So now she can tell someone to move on because she been down that road. But I'm not going to say that because it took for me, once again, for me to move on, not no one telling me to move on. So I'm not going to tell this sister to move on, and I'm not going to tell her. Well, I did tell her to. Didn't I say for her to stay earlier? I can't remember. But I'm not going to tell her to move on. You move on when you're good and ready to move on.
Veronica, so I just think from your experience, I think you can just word that better. I understand what you're saying, but I think you can word it better. You can give yourself more as an example, but still say, sis, you're going to have to make your own decision.
That's pretty much what I'm saying.
No, you're not, because
I'm saying that she's going to have to know when it's time to move on.
Yeah, but I think but I think you and Michelle have been through similar things, not similar, but the outcome has been the same. And I think that you can say, sis, if you see that this sister she's not happy, you see that the things that she's dealing with, you can give her advice and then come back and say, sis, it still comes down, but I'm giving you advice because I've been in that. See, what helps her more It's people that have walked in her shoes right now that can give her that advice, because people now have went through the emotional part, the hurt part, whatever, the love, whatever, and y'all could give her the best advice, even though she still has to make up her mind. And I think you're playing it safe. That's what my opinion is.
It's
Go ahead.
go ahead, Victor.
No.
You should.
I'm not going to say that I'm playing it safe. I'm trying to be as real as I can. But I see what you're saying, and I'm gonna go how you're expecting me to say it. To the letter that wrote this letter, you're going through, something that a lot of women have been through, going through, or going to go through. And it's up to you to make that choice to stay where you're at. No, a lot of women will not want to stay in that situation. We all want to be respected and loved and cared for, like we are the main one on your list. We all want that. We all want to feel loved and special. So what I can tell her, just what I said, it's up to you to make that choice. It's up to you to
what
stay.
made you stay? What can you give her advice also in the sense of when you got fed up? What made you step away? Wouldn't that be good example for her?
What made me step away?
Yeah, what
may not be what made her step away.
Right, but by your advice of what your steps that you took could be helpful to her as advice, because y'all may have went through similar things.
No.
Okay, got it. I'm not pushing.
Because for one, she's not married. This is her boyfriend. I mean, but still, respect is respect, either way you look at it. But I'm not going to tell this sister, I'm not going to tell her to put up as long as I did. And I'm not going to tell her to leave. That's what I'm going to tell her. Her heart is going to have to tell her when to move on. Point blank, period.
Got it.
You call them blank statements.
Blanket
Statements.
These blanket statements are killing me. So back when Patricia Richards said, y'all were talking, you said everyone has, trust me, that's a blanketed statement. Everyone has not been through that. Everyone has not fought for a relationship. Everyone has not been down this road. Correct. That's a blanketed statement.
Are you talking about men and women? Or are you talking about from a male point of view? Are you talking about both?
I'm talking about, you cannot make a blanket statement saying everyone.
Everybody, because everyone has it. Exactly.
Because everyone has not been
right.
Everyone has not went through heartbreak.
That's true.
Everyone has not had to fight for a relationship.
That's correct.
Everyone has not been in an unsuccessful relationship.
Correct.
That's a blanket statement.
That's correct.
I'm not beating Patricia up for that, but before you read Michelle Grant's comment, you said, "You right, Patricia," and I was like, "Really?" So I wrote it in the comment section. Yeah. That's a blanket statement.
But everyone has been down that road where they didn't feel. Okay.
You can't say that. You can't say that.
Okay, well, I take that back. I'm sorry, because I can't say a lot tonight. But
you can't. How can you make a blanket statement like that? Like everybody that. So you're telling me
because y'all never say everyone. Y'all never say anything on this.
But you can come back if we do say. But if we do say that, then you have a right. If that in the context that we say it, if we do make a blanket statement, you have a choice to challenge that. We can be challenged.
I can't say this. Everyone has taken a breath before. I can say that. That's a true statement.
We're taking breaths right now. What do you mean?
He's kind of being funny.
Patricia says men don't usually leave. They leave when that woman starts moving different or put him out.
That's not true either.
That's not true neither.
She said men don't usually.
Right.
That's not a true statement. but
Uh,
we'll go with that.
Ms. Jacqueline says, how a person treats you, talk to you, shows it all. Just pay attention.
Correct.
Yep. Natasha says, I'm confused. Who's saying they've never been down any road? We can't offer advice. Yes, that's what we're all doing. We're giving advice and we're giving our opinions, but I'm talking to whoever you are that act like you've never been hurt before, you've never been in love, you never stayed in a relationship longer than you should have. That's who I'm talking to. Gloria says, no, I have, but my old me know better now because I stayed for 20 plus years. Yes, because you've been down that road, so you know better now.
So that's why I asked that question. Now, if that was Gloria, that if she had to give her old self advice, that advice would be different than what she did 20 years ago. That's basically.
Gloria, would you still try to work it out? Not saying that that you will stay 20 years to try to work it out, but would you even try to work out a situation that you're in? Are you just going to be like that first time something goes wrong that you see, the first disrespect or whatever, you out? I'm just asking.
So I want to ask a question. We all learn from the mistakes or our past transgressions. Let's just say that. I don't understand why when we go into why some people go into relationships seeing the signs from a previous relationship and let it continue to go on like that. I don't give no. People say you should walk into a situation with a blank slate. Hell no. I'm coming with 2 suitcases, a book bag, a carry-on. I got all kind of baggage with me. But you have to, if we're gonna be together, you have to understand that. There are some things that people have done in my past that I'm keen to, and I have the game. I peak game, now I apply game. If you stand out past 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, I already know in my mind what's going on. Whatever your explanation is, it ain't good enough. It ain't. So I don't understand how people put up with shit like that for so long. There ain't a damn conversation that I can have with nobody other than my woman at 1 o'clock in the morning. The fuck are we talking about? That is that good. If that damn game is on and we sitting down there and we doing this and doing that, if I ain't got no TV at my house, I need to take my black ass home because it's all about respect. So basically what I'm saying is if your ass is out there in the streets past a certain time, it don't look good. And if it don't look good, it probably ain't no damn good. So I'm not going to allow myself to be out there to even give my woman the thought. I don't even want her thinking Vic out there doing some bullshit because it ain't a phone. Hey, I'm still at Fatine House right now. What the fuck? She got every right to say, the fuck you still doing that? I gave a respectable time. It's a mutual. But it ain't a phone call. It ain't a situation that would allow me, other than me being in the hospital, that I need to damn be out there in the street. I don't give a damn if I'm at my mama's house at 11:30 at night. I need to take my black ass home. Mom, we can talk about this tomorrow. But my old lady at the crib. And I'm perfectly comfortable with saying that.
Yeah. And just to
give and that's how it should be.
Yeah. And to give an example is in a prior relationship, I went through an ex-boyfriend thing that caused me heartache. So when I saw signs in my next relationship where I saw that she was not really giving this guy the final thing, I didn't wait. You can't put closure to this. I'll put closure to it. I didn't wait for the emotional part. I didn't wait for this. My heart. I was like, I'm not going through this again because I went through that already. Once you hurt, you put up a force field, and you got to get people to you have to trust people again. So I just was like, we're ending this. And then when she got the message, she put closure to that, and then we was able to move on. But once you peep, like Victor said, game or problems before, if you're smart, you won't accept that going into new relationships?
Going into a new relationship. So Gloria answered my question. She says, yes, I would fight for it, but not as long, and depends on the situation.
And that's all I was asking. That was my main question.
That was
I never
my
asked about
question to her.
fighting. I wasn't asking about fighting, but you put that question out there. So you had a right to put the question, but it seems like it was coming off the tail. Like I was saying, if you had to give yourself advice to your old self, what would it be? And I thought it would be, well, you should fight for it, but I wouldn't fight as long as so-and-so. Because I don't expect somebody just to walk right away, but would you fight and walk through the same steps? And I'll tell you my opinion. This is my opinion. If you did do that, then I'm gonna call you a fool. I'm sorry. If you learn from something and then go back and make the same damn mistake, you are a fool.
But who's saying that you're going right into that same mistake though? Who's saying that you're walking into? I'm saying, like, if you get into another relationship, and say, I'll use this lady years for example, 6 years into it, and then the man start doing, or the female start messing up and doing things out of the ordinary, you just up and leaving, or are you going to fight and work? That was my answer to your question. Will I do it again?
Okay.
It depends on the situation and how long it's been. And yes, I'm going to fight for it if I love that person.
So my answer to your question is, baby, let's I don't know what we're doing here, but let's check this here. Baby, I've been through this. So let's get on the same page here, because I'm going to tell you now, since I've been through this before, I'm willing to work at this, but I am not going to work at this as long. If this is something that's going to continue, I'm out. And that's it to it. It's not, you don't want to, how was the saying? You fool me once, fool. What's the saying?
It's easy. It's easy for you to say, if it ain't, then I'm out.
It's easy to say you're out if you've been through it once before, Veronica. That is easier. Yes, it is much easier to say if you've been through that same BS before. It is easier to say I'm out quicker the next time if you're smart.
If you're smart. Okay. Tim says, Veronica Samuel, there's monsters out here that haunt and look to take advantage of soft-hearted people, because we all know they will stay even when they should leave. And it's easier for those people, monsters, to blame the soft-hearted person rather than to be responsible. And that is very true, Tim. That's true. I have to agree with that.
I agree with it too.
I'm not going to tell my business though, but yeah, I get what you're saying. That's why I say it's so hard to like move on and like dating these days, because you never know who you're getting involved with.
But you already know what you're getting in this punk ass relationship that you stuck in. You know what you got at home. And you ain't happy.
You got a monster at home.
I'm saying getting out of that situation and moving, starting a new relationship. You don't know what you're getting because you're just meeting that person. So how do I know?
But that's a better chance. Your odds are better. Your odds are better, Veronica, knowing that you got an ass at home and you don't know what's out there. But your odds are better because there's just like there's another ass out there, there's a good person out there. Your odds are better out there because you know what you got at home. That is not as detrimental to your sanity.
I tell you, I don't believe that.
Oh, so then don't date no more then.
There could, I mean, I know there's good people. I know there's good-hearted single people out there. I know that. But what I'm saying is getting to know them. And I know we have to take that leap of faith or whatever you call it to get to know someone, but we just get stuck and we get comfortable where we're at. That's all I'm saying. And it's just hard to move on and give someone else an opportunity.
Can I say something?
Sure.
If you ain't gonna leave, don't fucking complain. Don't complain.
I said that earlier. Yeah.
It ain't nothing to say. I ain't gonna leave them. I'm gonna fight. Then fucking stay. Stay and cry your makeup off every night. But don't complain about it.
Because they believe it's going to be different. I believe Nick is commented behind someone. But that is the reason why they put up with a lot. They believe it's going to get better.
And you know, y'all, I just want to say this real quick. I want to say this while everybody's out here. See, a lot of times, sometimes our personalities come within our content. Again, I'm talking to you now, Veronica. So knowing who Veronica is, Veronica honestly puts herself, and sometimes she places herself here. And when she does that, I take what she may be using that as an example, and I use that for other women that may think like that or whatever, and I deal with that. But I understand what you are saying, Veronica. Trust me, because you know why? Because I know you better and I know the type of person you are. But that does not stop me from giving advice on that, because there's other women that agree with you, think like you, and move like you. And when I'm talking, it's not personal, but it's to address that circumstance. So it just gives people something to balance, because at the end of the day, they're going to, again, take what they want, leave what they don't want, and make their own decisions at the end of the day. So I just want people to realize, yeah, we clash in here, but that's because we all have different personalities at the end of the day, and we have our own points of views out here. So don't think it's a personal thing.
I don't want anyone. Go ahead, Victor.
What?
Oh, I thought you were going to say something. Listen, I don't want anyone to take my kindness for weakness. I am very kind, but I also know how much to take as well. So and I'm just thinking about what Tim comment was about, there's monsters out there. Trust me, I know how to be Ronnie. I know how to bring Ronnie out, but I try not to bring Ronnie out and keep Veronica right here, because Veronica is the nice one. Veronica, and that's probably why I've been in situations before and I've been hurt many times, because it's the nice Veronica. But trust and believe, they got the Ronnie, and the Ronnie will come out. But I like to give people a chance, and I like to think that everybody have good inside them, when I'm, with someone. Anywho, I'm moving on.
It's cool.
I'm moving on.
I'm gonna tell you this. If I know she a hoe, guess what? I ain't giving her no damn chance. It's just that simple. I ain't doing it. If I know that's in you, if I know a woman and she beat men and she's consistent, she done beat every boyfriend, I ain't going into that situation.
No.
Yeah,
we'll be a fool.
But see, that's not what I'm talking about, though, Victor. I mean,
I wasn't commenting on you. I'm talking about if this is in you. This is not a rebuttal to anything that you said. Mm-hmm. I'm just making a statement about me. If I know this is your character, I'm not going to choose that type of person. That's why, me personally, you can look good and I can admire you from across the room. But unless I kind of know who you are and what you got going on, I'm not going to get involved with you till I kind of know what I'm getting myself into.
Yeah. And I don't think
Huh?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't either. Well, I would try not to, knowing that you're that type of person. No, I mean, I pass. But I'm talking about if you meet someone, y'all kick it off, everything is going good. And then 2 or 3 years down the road, then you find out that this person, your feelings involved now. You love this person. What do you do then? You just up and leave?
So you saying, what did I find out?
I mean, we always talk about cheating on this show. The letter is all, well, no, I'm not going to say that, because this letter isn't about cheating tonight. Let's go with what the letter say. You say this woman start doing things out of the ordinary. She start hanging out late at night. What are you going to do? Are you going to up and leave?
I'm out.
You're out just like that 2-3
Yeah.
years in.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this. A situation like that happened with me, and we was 10 years in, and I left within 2 weeks.
Yeah, I ain't going to that.
I'm out.
At this
Because
stage.
I'll tell you this, I was the guy, and my kid's mother was the woman.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the situation reversed itself,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, damn this. I'd be damned if you do a me on me.
Because you couldn't take it.
No, hell no, I can't take it.
Yeah.
And I'm man enough to say, you know what, when it come to somebody doing me to me.
Mm-hmm.
No, hell no. So you know what I did? After we broke up, I changed. Ain't no more staying out late when I'm in a relationship. Ain't no more inboxes and making people doing all it. I don't do that shit no more. Because I know how that shit feel. It took her 9 years of some change to get her lick back. And when she got her lick back, damn, she hit me in the right damn spot.
Yeah.
And that shit hurt. So I had to change myself and hope that nobody never did me like that again.
But you didn't think it. Please let me know if I'm getting too personal, because I'm not trying to get personal.
Oh,
I'm just trying to get a better.
So
You
by
don't.
me, given that situation, why wouldn't you be able to speak on it?
No, I mean, I just, because what I'm getting ready to ask, I didn't want you to think that it was
Go
I'm
ahead.
trying to get too deep.
No.
So you didn't think it was fair to her to give her another chance like she gave you from putting up with what you've been doing to her. You didn't think it was fair to make it work just because it was versed on you?
So let me tell you something. Ain't shit fair when it come to me. It's my way, and that's it. When it come to me, I hurt you. I apologize. You say you forgave me numerous damn times. Numerous times. You said you forgave me. Now you want to get your lick back. I'm mad.
Well, I want to say this to Veronica and Victor and to this young lady. I'm gonna put a little disclaimer out here. This is not me. I work with a guy. I worked with a guy that was older than me at the time. I know at the time I was like 25. He was like in his 30s. And, you know, he get paid, he would get high. That's his personal business. You understand? I was his supervisor. And we were talking, and he was like, oh, I got with these women and this, that, and this female and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just listening to what he's saying, right? So I said to him, just throwing it, I said, yo, bro, what if your wife did that? What would you do? I'll break her effing neck. I'm 25, y'all, 25. I said, what? You heard what I said. I will break her effing neck. So I said to him, because I'm going to challenge him. So what's good for you is not good. Yo, I don't care. So what I'm saying is some men, that's how they move. So when we're giving you this advice, sister, we're looking at the antics of this brother. We are men. We've been around. If we're not that type of man, we possibly been around some type of men. We know the signs at the end of the day. We're trying to protect you. I'm just giving it. So now that's the disclaimer. Because when you was reading this letter, I was like, I just thought of this coworker as soon as you said it. Some men, not all men, they move like that. And when this man ain't giving you this respect, he doesn't respect you. That don't mean he doesn't care for you, but his care and whatever feelings he got for you is warped. It's misplaced at the end of the day. And the only thing is going to cause you more, sister, is the longer you stay, the more heartache and pain you're going to have. She's saying it's hard to leave. She didn't go into details if it's financially, kids, no. But she said it's hard to leave. So we assume it's not easy for her to leave because it's tougher out there for her to get on her feet, get a place, whatever. We understand.
Wait, now how you got that out the letter?
I said we don't know, Veronica.
Did she put in the letter what she was saying about him coming in late?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that she said it's tough for her to leave. So I'm saying we understand that part. We understand it's tough for her to leave, but we're giving you from advice, even though we didn't move like this, we know what this brother is doing to you.
Facts. So Jacqueline, you hit the nail right on the head. I need to pull it up on the big screen in just a second to read what you said, because I want to say this. Okay, a liar don't want to be lied to, and a thief don't want to be stole from. So when a person reverse the role, that's something that person that does the hurting can't take it. So be careful what you do. You meaning someone might do it back to you and be better than you is just an opinion. And Miss Jacqueline Gatson, you are 1,000% right. I was doing some of the most low down shit that you could probably think of. And guess what? When that damn thing, she just took up one time to do it back to me, I couldn't breathe. I couldn't sleep. My hair falling out, all kind of shit was going on. And this woman put up with this shit for 9+ years.
Now, do you think she was a fool for that?
Fool for what?
For putting up with that.
Hell yeah, she was a fool for putting up with my shit for 9 damn years.
But you didn't tell her that. You didn't tell her that though.
I tell her that now.
Right. But not when.
Yes, no. I just said a man will never leave his dummy. That ain't gonna happen. I'm trying get that through your mind. What man gonna say, man, you stupid for staying with me? Ain't nobody gonna say no shit like that.
I'm not saying you're gonna leave your dummy. I'm saying you didn't tell her that she was a fool for staying with you.
Why would I? Listen, she is a great woman. We ain't gonna never be together. We cordial and all this other shit. She's a great woman. And I will honestly say, she probably, if I was doing better, we probably would have still been together. But guess what? That wasn't in the cards. And it's okay. But I will honestly say, was she dumb as hell for staying with me for 9 years? She was probably dumb as hell for fucking choosing me at that time to start with. But it's the damn truth. And that's a realistic, logical answer. I wasn't shit when she met me. And she was a good, wholesome woman. And then 9 years later, she get her lick back. I'm hurt. But I'm man enough and to say that now, and I tell Tina that, man, I wasn't shit. I said that on the Mel Show. I wasn't shit. But that woman had loved me unconditionally. Until she got fed up with that shit, guess what she said? I'm going to get, well, she didn't say the N-word. She said, I'm going to get this dude back. And she might have called me the N-word. But I don't know.
Listen.
But she was totally justified in doing exactly what she did. Even though I might not agree with it, it is what it is.
When we're at that point, man, listen, move out our way. Because that's it. We're done. That's what I'm saying to this lady. Like we can tell her to leave and what we wouldn't do and all that stuff. But until she is ready. And this is what I would tell my friends. Listen, sis, you already know what it is. You know what he's doing. You know what he's putting you through. But I'm not going to tell you to leave. You're going to have to make that decision. You're going to have to make that choice to leave. But just think about what you're putting yourself through. Is it worth it? Do you want to be crying at night? Do you want to go through this? Like, are you happy? You can't be. But that's the thing. I can't tell you to leave. You have to make that decision. And I'm not going to call you a dummy. I'm not going to call you a fool. That's your choice. That is the decision that you're going to have to make and live with. But trust and believe. When it's time to go, God is going to show you a sign. It's going to be right there in your heart. And you're gone. With no questions. No questions.
Hey.
The tear is going to dry up. All that. What you say, Victor?
Tim, you listen. Tim, you hit it on the head. We can mess with 15 women. But if a woman blow a kiss at a dude, I'm passing out too. I'm on a fight now. I'm gonna try to let her find the lint in between the washer and the dryer, because her head gonna fit in between that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Real
Let me just
talk.
say,
Right.
I-
Lee.
yeah,
When her
and let
chin
me-
start hurting, she will leave.
let me just say to the sister, last week we lost the icon to music, and we know the Tina Turner story. That woman was on when I talk about top of the world from a music point of view with Ike and Tina Turner, but look how much abuse that she went through till she got fed up, and then she had to walk away. But look what she went through. She walked away with change in her pocket. That's all she
We don't
had.
care. At that point, when we're done, we're done. We don't care. At that point, it's it. It's a wrap. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you say. I don't care how much you beg me to come back, to stay. When we're done, we're done.
And what I'm
and
saying,
no one could tell her to leave. As much as Tina Turner went through, no one could tell her to leave until she got ready to leave.
I'm gonna tell. People could have told her to leave, and she didn't take their advice. I'm telling this sister, don't let it get that bad to the point it's physical, and you getting physical, marked up and beat up and black eyes and stuff like that. The bottom line is, what you're going through at the end of the day. So if there's no happiness, and this is to the point that you're pining every day, then it's time to go. I think sometimes we wait for a bad situation to get worse before we go. The writing has to be to the point that we getting kicked in our ass to get out the door to leave sometimes. And sometimes, and I think sometimes when people are reaching out for help, they want to hear from other people the truth, no matter how much it hurts, that they can hopefully give them some encouragement to do what they need to do.
Now, and let's be clear. I'm not saying to stay in an abusive relationship. I'm not telling no one that. I'm not saying that at all. That's a totally different ball game right there. And I get what y'all saying. It doesn't have to be physical. It can be mental as well. But definitely not a physical abusive relationship. I'm not saying to stay in it. But do I feel like women stay in relationships longer than they should when it's a bad, toxic relationship? Yes, we do. We should leave faster than what we do. But some of our hearts are not built like that, and we just keep hoping and praying and wishing that things will turn around and get better. That's some of us. But like I said, some can just dip, like Victor said he can do. He'll be out, and you do have some women like that. But a lot of us will stay until we know it's time to go. So,
wow. I just looked at the clock. It was 9:16. I was like, wow. And now it's 9:58. Wow. It just took off. Right. Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you. Thank you all. There was a couple of comments. Thank you. I liked them.
Victor.
I ain't got time to fire back off on the two Patricias, but I got y'all next week. Oh, let me write this down on my hit list so I don't forget.
I missed it.
List. Patricia Richards.
Mm-hmm.
And Patricia Baker. I got y'all ass next week.
What they said, I missed it.
I got y'all.
All right.
No, so I'll just say it now. So Patricia Baker said after my story, she said I ruined a good woman, right? That's a fair and accurate statement from what I said.
Mm-hmm.
But my rebuttal was she's happily married now. So I helped her meet her husband. So I should have been in the damn wedding. Without me, there would be no them. I gave her the game plan. I gave her the book. I gave her everything. I gave you the playbook. Now you know what to look for. If your new husband started displaying some examples of what the hell I did, she know to leave.
She should know. But some
Oh,
of
no,
us
no,
will
no.
still, well, she may, but I'm saying some will still see red flags and still stay and still keep
Facts.
moving forward.
And guess what? I help her move.
So my question to you, Victor, let's flip it. You know
Go
how they
ahead,
like to
bro.
flip. You know how the women like to flip it. Let's flip it. So looking back at that, you looking at how she should have she learned from the mistakes and you've never been married. Do you look yourself in the mirror and make some changes on saying, you know what, I haven't been married. I was with that your ex or whatever, and maybe it's some things that I do that turn women off when I get in a relationship. Do you do that and look yourself in the mirror and make changes accordingly?
Yeah, bro. I understand that there's I should say curfew, but that was an example. I understand there's rules in this relationship, and in order for me to be with this person who I'm choosing to be with, I got to abide by your rules. There should be no challenging. If you tell me to be at the crib by 12, I'm not even gonna try to push it to 11:50. You know what I'm saying? And if I know I'm gonna be late, I will call, because especially if we raw dogging it, guess what? I earn you earn that respect. So I understand that it ain't all about me. I know that now. But you got to understand, I mean, I say I understand now, when it comes down to, if I want to be with you, you gonna know it. And if I don't want to be with you, you gonna know it.
Got it. I appreciate that answer. And I appreciate you answering it straight up.
Patricia, you know what? You're right. Miss Baker is right. She didn't learn from Vic. Her game plan was better. She broke Vic. He's following the rules and regulations. You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
We don't run from the truth is the truth. And if that speak the truth, you agree to it. That's all to it.
Now, relationships after that, I feel like we weren't compatible because I didn't cheat. I didn't go nowhere. People will tell you, I'm in a relationship, motherfucker, I get missing because we together. And we together. Yeah, you're right. I'm house broke now. I have no, it's a difference now in me. If we break up, it's because our personality is just, it ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? But that cheating shit, no, Vic don't do that. Fuck no. I can't take it, bro. Yeah. I can't take it. So, Miss Baker, you are correct. Yeah, she broke out of cheat. Yeah, hell no. Hell no.
All right. Well, thank you for that, Victor. We appreciate your honesty tonight. Closing remarks, closing thoughts. If we probably already gave them, but anything else y'all want to say on this letter? All right, Victor.
This is correct. If something happened to her, I did it. I just want y'all to know that. This is my confession.
Yeah, and it's recorded at 1 hour and 58 seconds into the show.
It's been recorded. So have fun.
Thank y'all so much for watching the tea tonight. We appreciate y'all. It was a great show. Thank y'all for leaving y'all comments, as we missed a lot of comments, but we'll try to go back through and answer and comment behind you all if need be. But thank y'all so much for watching tonight. We appreciate each and every one of you, as we do every Tuesday night, for supporting the show. Brother Fatin, all the way from WBLS radio station, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Brother Victor, damn it, boy White, thank you so much. Appreciate you.
And we appreciate Sister Veronica. Give yourself a bow.
Thank y'all so much.
There you go.
Guys, have a great rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend. Love upon one another. And if you have someone good in your life, hold on to them, because you know when you have a good thing and you lose them, it's a painful thing. So hold on to that person who is making your life great, who is bringing joy in your life, who's putting a smile on your face every day. Treat them right and hold on to them. Enjoy the laughs, enjoy the moments that you all share together, and do not cheat. Okay?
Because we can't take it.
Because y'all cannot take it, man. Have a great night, guys. Until then, we will talk to y'all later. Night.
Buenas noches.